Does my probiotic. I bought this yeast probiotic. Actually, someone was talking about it on Twitter. If you have carb or whatever, maybe if you're craving carb, I don't know if it's working, or if you need help in processing carbs, something of the sort. Anywho, but it says it helps to reduce the risk of antibiotic-associated diarrhea. It provides live microorganisms to benefit the health, so I need some probiotic. And it says that each contains 5 billion live cells, 5 billion coliform units or CFU. And I can't help myself. The nerd in me, I am going to check to actually see if it contains 5 billion or in that range. So stick around and I'll walk you through the process of enumerating, counting, checking to see how many coliforming unit, essentially concentration, or how many of the live Saccharomyces boulardii or boulardii that should be in it. So come along. Does my probiotic contains 5 billion yeast cells? Let's find out. So the protocol to make up the broth that I need to dilute the probiotic in calls for peptone saline, right? So peptone is a protein source that is used for microbial food, and saline is just sodium chloride salt. We're using lab grade. And I have my weigh boat, so I'll turn on my scale. I'll tear the weigh boat so that the weigh boat itself is 0. And the recipe calls for 1 gram of peptone per liter, but I have 500 ml of water, so it's just going to be half of that. All right, so 0.5 grams of peptone. This is what the peptone looks like. It smells beefy. Ooh. So 0.5 grams. Ooh. Oh, almost perfect. Okay, that's fine. Then I need the salt. So the salt is 8.5, and if I divide that by 2, I get 4.25 grams of the salt. So it's just sodium chloride, lab grade salt. So I need 4.25. Okay. Whoa, I over poured that. Almost. All right. already put the peptone in the water. It wasn't a lot of peptone, so it barely changed the color. Then I'll add the salt. Give it a good shake. You always want to clean up after you've used your stuff. Turn the scale off. So next up, I'll have to aliquot. Since it's aliquoting, so I'm going to pipette or place 5 ml or 5 millimeter of the broth I just made into each of these. Actually, it's not 5, it's 4. So let's do that. I have a disposable pipette that goes up to 10. Uh-oh. This is my pipette filler. I hope it works. So let's see. So I need 4 ml. So that's done. Up next, I'm going to put the, oh, I'm missing one. But then I'll cover them and sterilize them in the giant pressure cooker. The lids are heat safe, so they won't melt. Because the temperature is going to get up to 121 degrees Celsius. And it's going to stay there for about 30 minutes. So yeah. I don't want to put them on too tight because when the pressure, and the pressure is going to be 101.3 kilopascal, standard atmospheric temperature. I don't want to put the lids on too tight because, uh-oh, this one broke. If the pressure builds up, it will pop the lid, and if the lid comes off, I'm going to expose the sterile contents to the environment, and then it will no longer be sterile. So I want it to be on loosely but tight enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm doing them in 5 because I'm doing a 5 series of dilution. Once that's done, remember this is an indicator, the autoclave tape, and these are white, and once my tubes have been autoclaved, if the autoclave is working well, they should change to black. So I'm going to sort of put a piece around it so it doesn't blow off when the pressure builds up. So the way I'm putting the autoclave tape is to help to keep the lids on. So I'm sort of putting at the base of the lid and the top of the tubes. That way it doesn't blow off. Done. So I have to autoclave. This is probably going to take an hour, 15 minutes before I can actually do the second step to find out if my probiotic actually has 5 billion cells. So hot. Do you see the black lines on the autoclave tape? Yep, that's what we want.